Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
Everything's good too? Yeah, everything's alright. So, what's the latest news so far?
Um, well, they are doing a. Um, do you know what geothermal heating is? Like when you heat a building from the warmth within the Earth's crust. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like they pump the heat from the ground to heat up the buildings. So they
Yeah,
are
yeah.
doing that renovation now in the building. So I hope you can't hear the slight drilling sound in the background.
I think everything's fine. I can just hear your voice and that's it. But if there gonna be any sounds in the background, I think it's alright. No problems.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, aside from that, yeah, it's been good. Thank you.
Okay,
I've
okay.
been uh, I've been playing well a bit less this last weekend because we had some arrangement with the wife. But
Mhm.
aside that, yeah, I've been having fun in Overwatch. So all good.
Sure. Any characters you've been focusing on the most? I believe we wanted to focus on Yazaria more. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. I played her. I think on the on the VODs that I sent you, I played mostly Zarya, I think, and then a few Sigmas. Well, and I've
Nice.
been also playing on DPS. I've been playing Reaper, but that's outside of this scope, but just as a curiosity.
Yeah. I think it's alright. You can invest some of your playtime on other characters. Yeah, it's definitely fine. Making sure the most of your playtime goes into your main role overall,
Yeah,
but yeah, still, it's okay. Yeah, I think
cool.
it's fine if we focus on Yazaria today. Just talk
Hmm.
about few ideas. I think we can start with a war review first, and then we can do a game. You can just look to play and apply some of the stuff we talk about today.
Hmm.
Does that sounds good with you?
Yep, yep, sounds good.
Okay, and I see those replays. Okay, there are three. I think that's enough. And any replay you want us to start with?
Not specifically. I can check this. One moment. Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna copy and paste those as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
screen sharing.
See here.
Okay, so the first map is Circuit Royale, a pretty long range map. Might be difficult to play Zarya. Sigma
Hmm.
is quite good there.
I think I think I played Sigma on that one.
Yeah.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I also in. We can go either Samoa or
Mm-hmm.
Nepal. I think both of those I played Zarya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I
So
think
that's
those maps are suitable. Oh, this third one, it's Numbani, it seems.
oh damn
Oh, and that is where you play Diva. Okay, so first
a
one.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, first one most likely. Yeah, Sigma is pretty good on that map. Second game, I think. Yeah, Samoa Zara is decent overall. This third map, there are a lot of high grounds to deal with, so playing Diva is also fine. And yeah, we agreed to play those three characters, just Zara, Sigma, and Diva. I think the decisions there, those characters you play here, it makes sense. Yeah,
Hmm.
let's focus on Yazara first. I think we can look for, well, Samoa. If you have a Nepal game, if you want to look what you do in
That's
Nepal,
fine.
I think
We can
it's,
go with that.
yeah, let's start with Samoa. Okay,
Yep.
let's take a look. So, this here, well, why it's suitable for Zarya a lot of times? Because just not as many high grounds to deal with, a lot of short range space, so you should be okay.
Hmm.
And well, I'm thinking the biggest thing for us to start with, usually on Zara, is your bubble management. It's
Hmm.
one of the most important resources because you can use it on for yourself, you can use it on your teammates, save their life, maybe enable their damage, enable your own damage too. And in here then, Any thought process regarding your bubbles? What are you looking for? Maybe because you have this team, because you on this map. Yeah. What do you think?
So I think on with this comp, I was mainly bubbling or targeting up my bubbles to the Pharah because she usually when she peeks out from like behind a hard cover, she's kind of big target floating in the sky. So
Sure.
a lot of crosshairs turn to her. So I'm just thinking to enable her positioning. And then another thing I'm looking for is when somebody is about to, well, not die, but going to take a burst of damage, right?
Exactly.
So I can,
Hmm.
because usually when you see somebody really low health, like 50 HP or something, and you wobble them, they're going to die anyway, unless there's a support, of course, near that character. But yeah, so being not too early, but quite at the right time before that character is about to die. I think that's a place.
Yeah, I
I think
think
I
this is
think
good.
I think like the worst bubble use is that you use it preemptively before
Mm.
even the team fight begins.
Yeah.
I used
Yeah.
to do that a lot, and I was playing those games through with like a 20% charge on average or something like that, and it never turned out good. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. A lot of people they actually make that mistake where they use bubbles before the fight a little bit too much. It's not
Mm.
like you cannot do that. You just have to be
Mm.
careful. Usually, you just want to sort of have
Yeah,
your bubbles.
I will have some early bubbles here. Don't worry. I
Let's
will
take a look.
definitely have them as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
Let's
good.
take a look. Yeah, let's see. I think it's just the balance because most of your bubbles definitely they should go towards enabling those active angles, like I mentioned. Anybody's doing big bursts of pressure, or maybe you are able to
Hmm.
do big bursts of pressure, but some of the percentage of your bubbles also goes towards just getting charged, maybe just enabling somebody. Going for the poke damage, but let's see. Yeah, you want to I think here, just find out what is the right time for you to use the
Yeah.
bubbles for the poke. Okay, okay. So I think especially the first bubble was pretty decent. My only question is, why do we keep playing that far back here?
Um. So is the question like why I'm playing this far back right
Oh,
now?
well, just at this position, we can phrase it this way.
Um. Well, I'm thinking to not take too much damage initially, so my supports don't have
Mhm.
that much pressure on healing the tank. That was mainly the thinking.
Mm,
Of
mm-hmm.
course, the Anna is a big bit back there. I think she's looking after me right now. That's something I actually when I played this, I didn't notice that she was still so far back. I thought she would be playing a bit more like aggressive position
Mm-hmm.
um, around where I am actually, but
Mm-hmm.
she was still far back. I didn't know that she was there. Yeah,
Mm,
that
mm-hmm.
was my thinking. Not to take too much damage initially.
Sure. I think that's definitely makes sense with just making sure you have enough resources. You definitely don't want to get a bubble force. However, there's one problem I have with this position is
Hmm.
because your team is really active. Yeah, we have this angle, let's call it angle A. The far is
Hmm.
mostly really active, and then there's an angle B. They're really active as well. You as a tank, you want to
Hmm.
absorb the pressure initially. You want to
Hmm.
absorb the pressure, and later the rest of your active angles, the rest of your team, they can do something a little bit more of their own pressure. So I'm thinking,
Hmm.
how can you still have your resources, yeah, still have your HP, but look to take more space so you start absorbing that initial pressure from the enemy team?
Play by the tower then, huh?
I'm thinking,
Uh,
yeah. I'm thinking this is
like
the
the
play.
next corner over.
Yeah, I'm thinking that is the play. And it also seems like you really looking into enabling this fire, which is great. You're enabling. She's the most active at the moment too. And this bubble is great, by the way. Just watch that. Yeah, I'm thinking this is really decent overall. You notice her going really active, but we don't want to forget to the part of your positioning as well, 100%, because there's so much pressure goes into Farah. You see what happens. They also might
Yep.
be forced out a little bit too quickly, where if we stay at a more aggressive positions, we're still choosing to fight our favorable spots, using our effective range in a way, but because there's a lot of attention goes towards you, this Farah will not give up the position, or they will not be as afraid sort of to go forward. Maybe you force out the ball to go on you. Maybe there is some, I don't know, maybe echo beam and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, just being watching what you can do proactively with your position. Okay, I'm gonna phrase it this way. Yeah. Proactive position. Okay, and you need to help active angles. Yeah, you need to enable absorb pressure. Okay. I'm thinking bubble wise, it's alright. It just seems like your pressure is a little bit too late, but it's okay. Because
Yeah, that
bubble
was
management is so important. It's I think you do decent job here actually. So yeah.
yeah, that was I think a preemptive bubble, the one I
Right there
played
on
on
the
May.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. I remember thinking, oh shit, I shouldn't have played that. But I mean, she was almost behind a hard cover, and I don't think she has any pressure on her anymore. I don't know. I can't see. I don't know. Can you switch to her point of view? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So it's
What's
just
she seeing?
it seems they pick the corner here aggressively. White
Yeah,
peek
and
the
there's the
corner.
ice wall, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay,
Yeah. Any triggers for you
yeah.
to look at when you looking to enable those active angles? Because before, I think this bubble in the fire, remember, when she was really close
Mm-hmm.
and to the enemy, and this bubble here, what is the difference? Why the bubble in the fire was better, it seemed.
Um,
And also look to go back.
I mean, it might go to the um to the timing, because she's now
Mm.
really actively pushing this angle, right? But
Mm.
the May was, I think May was playing pretty passively on
Mhm.
the back line there, and kind of they're already when the May was kind of engaging,
Mhm.
they were already pulling back, so they wouldn't be,
Mm.
focusing
Mhm.
her, I would think.
Exactly. So see those positional triggers. There's gonna be number one. Usually when you notice people start wide peaking more, they start closing the gap more. I would say it's kind of
Yeah.
two things. Okay, so I'm gonna write down play away from cover. They also are getting close to enemy. I think
Mm.
those two main positional triggers are really important for us. There are also gonna be some more, but
Yeah,
once
of
you're
course.
just able to keep track on those, I'm thinking it's gonna be so much easier. And later, yeah, as you mentioned, May, I'm thinking there's been not enough positional triggers for you. Yeah, it's just she is still leaning towards the cover. Maybe it seems like okay, she starts closing the gap, but I'm thinking another trigger you can add as well
Hmm.
because you ideally want to read those triggers together. Maybe something like the HP can also be
Yeah,
helpful.
she
Yeah.
was full health, so I mean, if she was at this point, if she was half health,
Mhm.
it would have made more sense, I
Yeah,
think.
even more. And it's actually kind of you can add the same trigger towards this pressure on the Farah. So I'm
Hmm.
looking okay. There's they've been doing a lot of active pressure based on positional triggers, but I'm also
Yeah.
looking at the other triggers such as the HP. Are they starting taking damage? And then I can bubble them. I can enable them a little bit more. Let
Yeah.
me see from perspective of the Farah again. Yeah, they go really aggressive, and then you start using the bubble right now, okay? And there is pressure going towards them, which is
Hmm.
this is really good. Maybe even letting the HP drop a little, it's even better. So you prolong their time being aggressive. Sometimes you can also
Hmm.
call those bubbles, but yeah, it's just all about polishing the timings of the bubble. There's so much into this. Okay, we can keep watching. I'm thinking, just noticing any patterns. Okay, we done decent overall. This fight goes relatively well. Well, we just gotta wait for the next push here. Okay. May have been pushing up. The fire is taking aggressive angle. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is sort of one of these preemptive bubbles, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So let's just differentiate on because we enabling any active angles. Okay, I'm gonna just differentiate on two phases. We're just gonna separate the fight on two phases. I usually
Mm-hmm.
say whenever you have an active fight, when most of your team they can press this active primary fire, they can use cooldowns.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them usually call it like, okay, this is the brawl phase. You know that resources are actively exchanging, and that is where most of the bubbles goes into this phase. It's just how
Mm-hmm.
you use those, timing is really important. But then there's also another phase. It's right before the brawl. It's where most of your team they're actually not able to press primary fire that much. Maybe some of their members, well, your members maybe your fire been pushing up before. Just want to show you. Yeah, they had this aggressive angle over here. Let's just go back. Okay, yeah, right there. They had an aggressive
Mm-hmm.
angle. They're able to press this primary fire before the fight starts. But the rest of your team, they actually are not able to. And that's why
Yeah.
you can usually look into the power phase. A lot of times it's not as possible for your team to apply active pressure and use cooldowns too, actually. A lot of times some of your members can, again depending on the team comp, but usually you
Yeah,
see
of
the
course.
tendency.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a widow can poke or zen or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If you have really long range comps, yeah, I think you can do a lot. But there's a tendency though still with the CDs. Usually it's gonna be you're not gonna get as much while you're out of this in the poke phase, and there's a low chance of getting killed. Typically,
Yeah.
most of the time. Okay, so and that's why the thing about your bubbles is kind of 20% of your bubbles I think goes into the poke phase. Is just
Mm-hmm.
trying to enable any sort of poke, but then we want to make sure that 80% of your bubbles goes towards the brawl. I just say you can simplify it to still, well, use your bubbles in the poke phase, okay, but then later you're gonna have two bubbles for the brawl. It's just your
Yeah.
attention. Yeah, attention wise, you still want to
Looking for the
make sure
brawl.
you enable the brawl, obviously, yeah, because you're just
Yeah.
trying to you brawl tank. Yeah, the nature of your tank is a brawl, so it's quite important. And I'm looking into this and seeing, okay, this Pharah now because they're poking, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and they're being active. Yeah, I'm thinking you can potentially enable this just in case. Just in case, try to bubble that, and you can get your bubbles back basically before the
Mm-hmm.
next fight starts. You just usually for the poke phase, one bubble is enough. Okay, so I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
write it down. Enable active angles poke phase. I'm writing down in the notes just for in the doc. I
Yeah.
think I
That's
yeah
great.
yeah yeah. So we're trying to enable this active angle, enable the poke. Usually use one bubble to enable poke, and then later you can start using it on anybody here like you did before. Okay. You just seen also those positional triggers. Yeah, who can do more damage really? I'm thinking who can do more damage in that poke phase, and then you start enabling that.
Mm.
Okay, do more damage. Okay, let's continue. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, now it's good to save the bubbles, yeah, and then see. Okay, maybe your team is doing quite a lot. Yeah, maybe there's some pressure, like that Mercy. They're being pressured, or that May over here. I'm thinking right there, what's your thoughts on this bubble?
So I was thinking that there's no point
Mm-hmm.
bubbling the May because she's already on ice block,
Mm-hmm.
and the ball is most likely after that. What is that? The pile driver.
Yeah.
He's going to attack the Mercy, and I didn't think that he would be able to kill her unless
mm.
he starts to chase her. But I just wanted the charge out of that
Mm.
because I know that the ball is going to shoot, so I will get some value out of it.
Mm.
And after that commit or engage that he did, their team is gonna follow, so I will have that charge with me, right? So that was mainly what I was thinking.
My
thinking
sort of
about.
sense, yeah. I'm thinking this bubble was good. Yeah, let's put it this way.
Hmm.
Yeah, because the HP dropped. Yeah, there's a trigger. Yeah, we talked about already. Just write this down. So one been position, another been HP. Okay, so in position you have kind of multiple things, but yeah, I'm just gonna let's say for now position. Okay, HP is another one, and I think another, just the third one, I'm gonna add as well. It's cooldowns. Any cooldowns being used, you wanna try to put your attention in there. Now, I
Mm.
see that Mercy, they received this HP trigger, okay? So in this case,
Yep.
okay, you can make a check mark. It's just, okay, there's actually enough. They also kind of out of position as well, been a little bit out of
Yeah, she's
position.
not behind the
Mm,
hard cover.
yeah, two
Yeah.
check marks. However, if you look before, see what
Hmm.
happens. The ball is going in, and there are already two triggers for you. I'm thinking one is positional trigger for the Mei, another
Hmm.
is HP trigger, and the
Yeah.
third one actually is here as well. So it's kind of, and this is where that's why it's so hard, I think, on Zarya. It's that you have to try to read all those triggers and see where you have the most of those, basically. And if you see
Mm.
that there are a lot of check marks, like I noticed, okay, there are 3 check marks already, you probably can start using your bubble there rather than using it later. And the bubble later is still good. Yeah, it's just here you have even more check marks potentially. Like this ball is
Mm.
slamming, and
And
it's
I'm just thinking, what if that Hanzo would have hit like one of his shots?
yes, exactly,
The Mei would have died, right?
exactly,
Immediately, because the Mercy
exactly.
cannot out heal the damage.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think you're totally right. And there is a lot. That's why it's so important to pay attention to CDs and kind of respond if they use something like their slam, for example. If I exchange it
Hmm.
with one of my bubbles, it's usually okay. You thinking like your teammates doing the pressure, they press their own primary fire, or like you press your own primary fire, and then what happens is it forces enemy CDs. Like you can say, well, you forced this ball to engage, or maybe this way she baited this ball to engage. Okay, she did
Hmm.
that, and then you can respond with your own cooldowns. It's just a matter of who is trading the cooldowns better. And here, yeah, because they're in a slam, it's just they go up. It's easier for them to get hit and such. So yeah, definitely, it's more
I'm
worth it. Mm. Mm-hmm.
and I think the movement where these characters go after the ball slam, it's really predictable for any good
Exactly. Yeah.
FPS player. It's much easier to hit these shots to the
Yes.
Mei. But I
Exactly.
mean, I was actively thinking that should I, and in this situation, that should
Mhm.
I bubble the Mei or should I bubble the
Mm.
Mercy?
I'm
And
thinking who's been
when
affected. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. What's
mm,
your thoughts? Like, see, because this is okay. Let's see now. Who receives more triggers at the moment, May or the Mercy?
well, the Mei, of
Yeah.
course, because
So
she's so low health.
yeah.
I don't know, like charge wise, me getting charged. I
Hmm.
think I got more value out of the Mercy in this situation. But the
Yes.
fact is
Yes.
that
Maybe.
that this May could have died. But when I was kind of through with my thought process, she was already in the ice block form. So there
Yeah.
was no
Yeah.
point in bubbling her anymore. Of course, if I would have
Hmm.
bubbled her before she went into that,
Hmm.
or when she went through the air, I
Hmm.
think maybe she would have played different, or the player would have played different
Yeah. That's
without
why.
the ice block.
Exactly, exactly. That's why there is a lot of anticipation should be done as well, because we're tracking those active angles, who is going more forward, being active, and there's basically one angle. It's your May and Mercy. So we're trying to enable them a little bit more, potentially the May, leaning towards the May
Hmm.
probably, and trying to
Yeah.
anticipate. You can, there's another part is just tracking the enemy cooldowns, what cooldowns are dangerous, maybe something like Annihilate, Sleep, maybe there is also
Hmm.
something like Hanzo's Arrow, maybe something like Ball Slam, but yeah, it definitely helps. I'm thinking if they're
Yeah.
actively engaging, yeah, they're doing their own stuff, and you react based on triggers, I think that helps. And it's not like you will need to really be able to read all those triggers at once. I highly suggest just whenever you're going to be practicing that, just pick one trigger, practice, just
Yeah.
based on that trigger, you see, okay, maybe I'm thinking starting with cooldowns and HP, can be quite beneficial. I think
Yeah.
you relatively well with at least from what we saw. Well, it's just been brief, but anyway, it seems like you recognize positioning your teammates and seeing, okay, they're going aggressive, you start bubbling them, so maybe it's worth it to pay attention to something like cooldowns triggers. If whenever the cooldown's being used on one of your teammates, I'm thinking, yeah, why not? I can bubble them more. And then later you get better at this trigger, and then you add one more, and then it's gonna be a combination. You will be so fast with decisions as well. You're gonna be faster with recognizing, oh, actually, yeah, I should be bubbling that. And the point about the charge, you're totally right. I'm thinking you still probably get more charge out of this though, based on the situation, because of the enemy
Because of the
silence.
slam, man.
Yeah, the slam. Yeah, you probably do. But it's just a lot of times for Zarya and for any tank, it's not anymore about the charge for you. It's more about taking space, controlling spaces effectively. We're basically going in somewhere or letting your teammates to go in or exist in some space, and then because you allow them to, then you control the space better. Yeah, there's a lot about that, and that's why I think a lot of players initially they were making those kind of mistakes where they use bubbles too preemptively before the fight starts, and because they're trying to get the charge, but in reality, when they go with a really big charge anyway, but they don't have bubble, they're not able to stay in the space.
Really use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can't use it because there's no defensive ability to also allow them to go aggressive. So I'm thinking, yeah, it is totally right. Yeah, so see, this is better. They go in. That maybe there's no HP trigger, but there are two triggers for you already. Position, cooldowns. You're just gonna. It's always simple. You at any moment of time you're watching who receives more triggers and just react. Usually, if there are 3 triggers, that's good enough. Really excellent bubble. Maybe there are 2 triggers. Okay, that's good enough bubble too. That's always, I think, how we're gonna do it. Well, at least for now, I'm thinking, yeah, this is decent as well. Maybe you can prolong if you like. Actually, there's only one trigger for you. Use a tank. It's cooldowns wise, but I'm thinking your position is relatively fine. You don't have as much aggression, so maybe you can hold on your bubble still. Just one trigger, yeah.
Yeah.
But this, okay. What's your thoughts?
Too early, I think.
Maybe. Yeah. It's just one. I think it's just again only one trigger. Yeah, it's only their position. Maybe allow them to take some pressure first.
Damage.
Yeah. Maybe you notice they are getting affected by some of the cooldowns too. I don't know, getting dynamited. Maybe. Yeah, okay, this is better. So we notice in Mei is on more aggressive side with their position. There's also what's it called? Slam. Yeah, slam being used. So yeah. Okay, freeze going in. Yeah. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's still definitely worth it polishing. There's good sort of fundamentals. You not, let's say, wasting bubbles. Your bubbles are decent, obviously, but there's so much polishing you can do when you're reaching the higher ranks. So it's worth it. I'm thinking paying attention to the bubbles, it's quite good. Okay, the fight is over, and that is where we have the poke phase again. We're gonna have just those moments of trying to use bubbles. Maybe one of your bubbles early, you can enable the poke. So I'm thinking you can even bubble this Mei, maybe bubble this Ana, and it's okay because you guys are resetting. Ultimately, you're still waiting for let me see. Yeah, you're still waiting for engage to start. Yeah, well, it's kind of.
Kinda.
Yeah, kind of.
Kinda are.
Yeah, kind of. You usually you have time for just one bubble. I'm thinking for those type of maps where it's control, you usually have time for one bubble. You still can make the judgment. Well, if the enemy team they're really close, maybe you don't need to bubble. But it's just kind of this. Yeah, you maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, like here, bubble the Mei because she's poking and is mid health. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is also, yeah, you can also read the triggers even in a poke phase. Yeah, I'm thinking it's just still important. Yeah, obviously poke phase, yeah, still triggers are important. but those are even more important when the brawl phase starts. So yeah, making sure you don't waste all your bubbles here, obviously. But yeah, just one is okay. Maybe this May is like they receive the bubble, then you get your bubble back, and then you have 2 bubbles again. This bubble, see, there's gonna be a problem where you're gonna be going in a fight, and I'm thinking you're only gonna have 1 bubble. There's a high chance if the enemies are going forward, they might catch you off guard, and you just okay. Yeah, there's only 1 bubble,
Yeah.
and then there's a half of the time where, yeah, you still getting your second bubble. So I'm thinking, be careful when you just going in the brawl phase. Yeah, you don't want to do stuff like that. Yeah, here I think similar to what I mentioned before. Yeah, probably let them take damage a little bit more. Just
First.
yeah, yeah. Like this is better when you start taking damage. You can use your bubble positional trigger as well. Yeah. Okay. That's winnable. Nice. Okay. Yeah, the graph is good. Okay. You can do some early poke. That is where you can also think about yourself as in a you can poke in some way. You can maybe bubble early, go back, literally go here, maybe if you want.
Poke from there, and
Yeah,
then yeah.
just back off. Yeah, you can use your first bubble. Maybe use sleep dart and you're perfect. Sleep dart is a also pretty long cooldown, so you can do that. Go back towards this position, then you have the second bubble. I mean, 2 bubbles back, and just use that for the brawl phase again. Yeah, this is decent. Okay, I'm thinking, any polishing needs to be done? Okay, so you have the
I think we lost the point at this stage for some reason. I think it was the ball who. Well, let's see. Let's see the play. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm just thinking what happened next.
I'm thinking
But
right
yeah.
away, we talked about something. It was right at the start. I was saying, choose somewhat of a proactive position. Okay, you want to choose to help your active angles. Okay, and I'm thinking this position here, does it help your active angles that much?
Yeah, it's too forward, right?
I'm thinking, yeah, you probably want to go towards, like you did before, this in the back or
Okay.
even tower.
Yeah, or the tower.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not like you, let's say, it's not like maybe sometimes you will notice that you receive all the initial pressure. Well, ideally you should, yeah, you should absorb initial pressure, but anyway, you see your active angles, they're being more active, they actually control the space with you. I think this is what matters, because you grab so much of the enemy attention. All of this exchanging the bubbles, it should be for something. Well, you do exchange it for some of their pressure too, but I'm thinking it's just not enough. That is where it's harder for your team to also punish with their own CDs like Anna. Maybe it's harder for them to sleep dart. Maybe May, they can wall off this guy too. Well, just anything, honestly. You want more response from the rest of your team. So yeah, choosing those positions where active angles are doing something. Just maybe choose 1-2 angles in, okay, my May's here, maybe my Anna is there. Maybe choose important abilities you want to play around and try to position around those angles.
Around those.
Yeah. And if there's pressure, once you notice those triggers, you start using the bubble. It can be on yourself too, and it's good enough too. Why not? I'm thinking a lot of times actually it might be one of the best things for you in ranked if all the pressure goes towards you, because you control that pressure as a tank. You can always be you always know how you're gonna position. You always can control your own position. Where with your teammates, sometimes it might be tough. You bubble them, and they, for some reason, they back off. They're not going forward. But yeah, it just kind of feels like, this way when you play in ranked. But obviously, teammates, bubbling teammates, still, it's good, of course. Obviously, if there's more pressure on them, like we're noticing those triggers, sure, we're gonna bubble them. Yeah, now that's why it's also harder for you. So see, the day enemies, they actually start taking space, they're going in for this pressure and the active angles, yeah.
Yeah, I was when I think they got the first pick. I can't remember. Yeah, it was our. At that stage, I realized that I'm playing too forward, like too front. I should have played a bit more back.
Yeah.
And then we lost the point.
That's okay. Yeah. That's alright.
Yeah. Basically, at this stage, I was just playing for time because.
Just stole the point.
We already stalled because we already lost 3, so we couldn't. It's really difficult to win from that.
Right. So see, I think the first bubble It's okay. Well, the enemy is kind of close though. That might be the concern. But I'm thinking again. Usually, first bubble is sort of fine for the poke. You usually, I'm thinking you're gonna have enough time to get it back. Yeah, as we see
Yeah,
here.
I
Okay,
think
you
I am. Yeah.
almost, yeah. You getting in. Okay, one bubble is in, and then you have another one. Yeah, it's almost precise. That's what usually happens. Right before the
Mhm.
fight, you have time to do this one bubble. Again, dependent on
Yeah.
the map, but yeah. It's always so situational, but you can apply this rule for now, maybe. Hey. Yeah, well, this looks okay, decent, and you got a peak before, so I'm thinking this is definitely winnable. Okay, you have this second point. Yeah, let's see, the same things again. Positional
Yeah.
triggers, and your position, too. Maybe talk about your position a little bit more. Okay,
Mhm.
what's your thoughts about this bubble here?
Um, did I played on May? Yeah, I think there was no thinking there. It was what do you call that? Like a
We talked about enabling poke before, though. Isn't that
Mm.
to enable the poke there?
Yeah, I mean, between the now that I'm seeing the situation from this point of view, like taking a step back from the game, like active game, I think I
Hmm.
should have maybe bubbled the Fair.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking
Instead,
that. Yeah. Too.
yeah, instead of the May, because um, well, because she has much more, AoE damage, and usually when you see Fair as a support or as a DPS, you kind of are more drawn to her than to May, to be honest, because people don't really think about. Um, of course, May has really high like poking power because of the icicle, but I mean, deciding if I would be playing DPS, I would be shooting the Fair at this stage, at this point. So
Exactly. Yeah.
right,
I think.
right,
I think. Yeah, and it's also their damage output. I'm thinking
yeah,
from this point, it's probably easier for the fire to do damage because of the verticality. They can
yeah,
provide it as well. They can just go up and have slightly better sightline compared to the other
yeah.
characters. Maybe if you see someone like Anna going aggressive, yeah, sure, you can also bubble them. It's not like it's bad to bubble May as well, but I'm thinking this is slightly better. It's just, again, maybe looking into those figures a little bit more. Probably Farah will have slightly aggressive position to start because of
Yeah.
the just more
Plus, I
verticality.
yeah. Plus, I think she cannot get into a position really without that bubble. Of course, she could walk across across to the bridge on the left, but I don't think she will do that. Will she? No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And now I basically enabled
hmm
May to go forward, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of, it's also possible. Yeah, it's, I think, okay. Well, we mentioned, well, Fire is decent too here. I'm thinking, however, next though, seeing positional triggers. Then yeah, more paying attention to, okay, this guy is more forward. Yeah, he's kind of going in, but not as much. Yeah, his position is maybe not as aggressive yet, and want to receive a second trigger somewhat. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
enemies using cooldowns. Maybe there's also something like HP. The HP drops.
Hmm.
Use your teammates as a bait. You can think about your
Yeah.
teammates this way too. It's just your teammates. Those are resources, and they going forward. You bait the enemy cooldowns. I'm thinking
Hmm.
it's really nice. Yeah. Here, this is stuff. So you have, what do you think your attention should be on at this point? What do you think is more worth to bubble, based on what we mentioned before?
I think May still maybe.
Probably, yeah, probably. And you
Because
still,
they have a Cassidy up close. He has tremendous damage from that range if he
right,
hits his shots, and
right,
almost the whole team is here on the bridge. So
right.
maybe help May.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think that fence is actually blocking my line of sight. So it
Yeah.
might be that my own positioning is a bit off as well.
Yes, and it's kind of connected. Yeah, that's how wanted us to connect the positioning with the bubble management as
Hmm.
well. Is just enabling the active angle. Sure, probably still prolong this. You don't have to bubble her now like too early, yeah, just it's okay. Maybe you can even tell them in voice, okay, May, you can push forward, I will bubble you. Yeah, a lot of our players do that if you like communicating. If you don't, I don't think you have to,
Mm.
because again, performance matters more. If your voice chat, communicating voice chat, it hinders your performance, then you don't have to. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, receiving more triggers and probably your position. Yeah, where should you be to make sure you, as we mentioned, enable those active angles a little bit more. What's your thoughts?
Mm.
Where should you go?
I'm thinking either on the bridge uh, with the May or even in the stairs here next to their. Is that Mercy and what is the other character? I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's Cass as
Yeah,
well.
like here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think this is better. Yeah, probably. I think
because
it's
the
a yeah, yeah.
objective is already unlocked, right?
Almost yeah. It's good in 4 seconds. Maybe you're waiting for this, but it's just
Mm.
maybe you can start over here and then later
Yeah,
go
and then
this
move
way.
there,
Maybe
make a
yeah.
rotation. Yeah,
It's just we seen it as a you looking to absorb initial pressure. I think because you're a tank, you need to take
yeah,
advantage of this, and you have more effective pressure from the short range anyway. So we don't want to
yeah,
keep using the right click as much. Either play here. Maybe it still feels like a little bit too stacked up with your team. Sure, well, you can go this way too later. I think why not?
mm,
But enabling active angles, and because you do that, I think you will have easy opportunity to bubble this person too. Because maybe you just play with them here, maybe you later
yeah,
even go there. Yeah, you just don't be staying in the back a little bit too much. I think you have to go in a little bit more. Bubbling your teammates worth it, of course, but it should be together with your position, your aggressive position, and then seeing should you bubble yourself or should you bubble one of the teammates. Yeah, here obviously it can be reactionary. Let's say not as reactionary, but kind of looking at the triggers again. This guy, okay, have HP out in the open. Maybe here's Storm Arrow. There's a sound as well, like sharp sound. Maybe
yeah.
can bubble that, but yeah, it's okay.
I was actually trying to go for that, but the console
Yeah,
was a bit
it's okay.
faster than I was.
Yeah, it's okay. The more practice, the faster you're gonna be. I think a lot of challenge to use the bubbles is just anticipating like what the enemies might do
Mm.
and anticipating their position. Yeah, anticipating their cooldowns, stuff like that.
And like in that case where the fire died,
Yeah,
there on the point, I actually didn't. I was thinking that
should you
she's
bubble? Yeah,
on under hard cover, right? Because there's that corner there, the high ground
yeah,
corner,
yeah,
the
yeah.
wall.
This one
I
here,
didn't actually think that she would be hit with the with
spear. Yeah,
well, yeah, with the spear, but she did. So that was
yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this is definitely one of the harder ones to recognize. It's like
Yeah.
later I think you will be able to do this kind
Hmm.
of bubbles and protect these guys a little bit more. I think two triggers are kind of there, well, positional and HP, but you're not sure are they receiving well. Yeah, you're not sure about the position actually. Yeah, as I mentioned,
Yeah.
you've been thinking,
Yeah.
oh well, it seems like they have covers, so the reasoning is fine. Yeah, I think the reason why you didn't bubble, it's like fine enough. However, the reason to bubble the May, I'm not sure. They're out of position, but then there's no second trigger, so I don't want to maybe bubble them. Yeah, I just want to just wait a little longer. Maybe going forward even. Going forward, bubble yourself, because the attention is going to go on you. You can be like this, receive those triggers,
Yeah.
position. And yeah, you mentioned you take a lot of damage there, but it just prolong the pressure because you play up on those stairs.
Yeah. And now I got the weird nano
Nano,
boost with
yeah.
zero
uh,
charge, and
uh,
I think told our Anna to just nano the Farah or somebody else than me,
yeah,
because she
yeah.
I don't know what was her thinking in this
I
situation.
can
Like,
probably tell. I can probably tell. If I
okay.
see the Annas from this perspective, and I'm really
Mm.
smart as well. I'm like, this Zarya is zero bubbles now, okay? And then they see you, you go forward, okay? I think yeah, and they're like, okay, there's zero bubbles like at this point of time. They see you low HP, they probably panic. I think a lot of it is
Mm.
panicking. They see, this
Mm.
guy's like, are they gonna
This guy
survive?
is gonna die. This guy
Yeah,
is gonna
he's
die,
gonna die.
right?
He's gonna die, and then yeah, they just nano you basically. It's not too bad of usage of nano, but I just want to say if we also manage our resources better. You prevent your teammates from inting their ultimates a lot of times too. I mean, you can
Yeah.
look at it this way. It's the part of your position. It's just because I
Yeah.
use the bubbles in the right way. Maybe you're saving your teammates. They apply more pressure, and then I apply my own pressure. Yeah, it's just there's a lot into it.
So
Yeah.
so what if I get nanoed like this? Because I think I will get nanoed like this a few
Yeah,
times
of
more.
course you will.
So
Always.
so what should I do with this? Is
Just
it
use it.
text?
Just
Just
use it.
go and take space, right?
Yeah, just go and take
Just
space.
sync damage and yeah.
Usually, I think this is enough because you. Yeah, I'm thinking because you tanking, you absorbing all that pressure from the enemy team. It's Nano.
It's
It's just
already
easy.
enough.
Yeah, Nano is allowing you to do so. Nano is allowing you to do that job. Yeah, just go in, do something. Obviously, you don't want to go too far, go too
Yeah.
aggressive. So
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, you're doing it right. You got Nano. Well, you just start pushing
Yeah.
forward. Maybe
I just
see. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just can't because I know that I can't really kill anybody with zero charge, even with nano. So, but now, what actually happened in this game is that the opposing team ended up winning because they made one change. Their Hanzo switched to Pharah, and we lost the game
Oh, okay.
because of that switch, and I couldn't play around that. So maybe we can,
Wanna skip?
focus a bit
Yeah.
more on that.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean it definitely goes back to using the bubbles, but I mean they
That's it.
did that change and that completely turned the game around for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at this point, definitely not as
They are just
easy to.
my team is just too far. I mean they're
Yeah.
just pushing too deep without me, but
Right.
stuff like this happens, so it's no big deal.
Small thing. If you want to make fast rotation to make sure you bubble one of your teammates, keep an eye on this right click thing where you can boop yourself a little. I think you probably know that tech. Yeah, you go forward, you use the right click behind, and then you jump together. You
Jump
go
forward.
go. Yeah. You just slide it faster. You can.
Okay.
You can also use it to maybe take positions where you can see your teammates better. Like, let's say I want to go from here to here. Maybe I'm confident. Well, I'm not sure if I bubble this or bubble this. I just want to see active angles, as we mentioned before. Anybody who is going active and enabling
Yeah.
those guys. So why not? Yeah, you can definitely go up on this middle section too. Yeah, this bubble here. We probably, yeah. What do you think? What's your thoughts, by the way? Like, do you have time for, because it's a poke phase sort of, it feels. But yeah, do you have time for this bubble maybe, or should we wait?
I think I should have waited a bit maybe.
It just feels like, yeah. What is based on? How do you make that decision? Because it just, this poke phase, yeah, and a lot of times for control, I think it's hard to exactly understand. But yeah, the triggers, yeah.
Well, I mean I wasn't sure like who are here, who are on this, on the choke here, like which characters.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking that this May could die, instantly if they have the Cassidy there and he hits one headshot. So yeah,
Yeah.
I was just thinking that something along those lines. But yeah.
Well, I'm thinking if we assume that, yeah, if your decisions is they are too close, your May might die, then probably gotta wait for more triggers before
Yeah,
using the bubble.
regardless.
Yeah, regardless. If you're confident for some reason, I don't know, maybe there's because of the pinging or because you hear stuff really well that they're further away. It can also be based on visuals. I think they far away enough. They behind the second wall here. Yeah, this wall here, so it's okay to use the bubble, but then the reasoning, it has to be something. Yeah, like what is the reasoning? Maybe it's the distance, maybe it's just you notice your teammate die, so most likely you think, well, we probably have to reset slightly, wait for them a little bit
Yeah.
more, so it can be okay to use one of the bubbles in the poke phase. Maybe the enemies will push you while you will have your next bubble, most likely. But yeah, it's typically pay attention to, so I'm gonna write down, pay attention to distance, who is dead and alive. I think this helps. Because if you know, well, you just don't have somebody, well, two of your teammates alive sometimes, then you can wait a little bit more, stay in the poke phase a little bit more. If you have enough distance, this is also the case as well. Yeah, again, depending on the map. I think distance factor is just for those kind of maps where it's control, it's a little bit harder. That's why typically when you rotate, I can give you an example like Control Center, Legion Tower, or Nepal Village. You rotate and you instantly take a fight. You just don't have the time to even do early bubbles, to do
Yeah.
any bubbles for the poke phase, and it's fine. Yeah, it's alright. It's just the map layout. You gotta look into that too. Yeah, I think so far is that. Do you have any questions, by the way, about everything what we mentioned so far, maybe, or everything has been clear so far?
Mm, let me think.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm just thinking mainly when I do get charged with Zarya,
Mm-hmm.
I usually go after the squishies. I don't pay almost any attention to their tank unless the
Mm-hmm.
tank is, really pushing my backline. Like in the previous point, I wasn't really focusing on too much energy on their ball because I know that I cannot kill him
Mm-hmm.
unless I have my team with me and he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have his supports to help him out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm thinking usually is that I'm going after the squishies like the DPS and supports, mainly supports. So is that kind of the right mindset, or is there some
Usually,
tweaking?
yeah, yeah. Of course, there's a lot to pay attention to as well. But overall, when there's a follow up, generally speaking, because you're absorbing pressure, there's a high chance. Well, there's just higher pressure from the backline.
Hmm.
They do more damage. They apply their cooldowns and such. So you want to usually absorb that pressure. Make sure they also maybe you pushing them back. They're not able to do that much pressure. Just tanks, yes, it might seem like well, some of the tanks, depending on situation, they can do a lot with their damage as well. But a DPS and supports they do more damage actually. The tank is mainly about absorbing pressure, tanking,
For sure. Yeah.
yeah, taking space, controlling space is just
Yeah.
that. So typically, yeah, you want to go after the follow up. Just notice when maybe there's no follow up, you still can shoot the tank. It's definitely fine.
Sure.
Maybe they're going over aggressive. Yeah, you just notice in first. Okay, there's a follow up. Let's shoot follow up. If there's no follow up, then you can shoot the tank. It
Mm.
doesn't has to be like oh we shoot squishes. The tank enemy tank is in thing, and then you just go in their backline really deep. You don't
Yeah.
have to do that. Yeah, it's so.
Because like shooting the Orisa when she's fortified. I mean, I don't see any point in doing that. So
Yeah, most of the
that's
time.
what
Yeah, most of the
yeah,
time.
that's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
No,
I think you're right. Yeah,
I might come up with some questions, but
sure.
once I get something, I'll just fire straight away.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So here I was just saving the Ana. I
Yeah,
didn't know
I think
like
this is scary. Yeah, the 1 HP.
yeah, that was really scary. So I just did that.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. Here going in, applying pressure. Is it enough triggers for you to use bubble on yourself here?
Mm, I think yes.
What kind of triggers are there?
Uh, well, actually, now that you
Yeah.
ask about it, I see that they are still, for some reason, they are all looking. Nobody's looking at me. That's
Yeah, they're
really
like
weird.
they just ignore you. Yeah, they
They're
just.
like NPCs, man. These players are like bots. What's happening?
Yeah, they're like, oh, there's Zarya over there.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Never. Don't mind her.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
Okay.
use this there.
I think you're right. There are no triggers actually because they are
Mm.
not. I am full health.
One can be still your position. You started forward, but it's not enough. I'm thinking. Yeah, it's just your position. You kind of expect damage there, and it's understandable because you walk in their
Mm,
face, right?
yeah.
But adding something second, HP or cooldowns, something like
Yeah.
spear, maybe. Well, even
Yeah.
bigger stuff like the nades, the yeah, I think it's just Cassidy, maybe ultimates. That's also quite nice.
Mm,
But then you use the bubble, they respond. I don't know, they damage your bubble for some reason. This guy didn't wait, but it's you can prolong your pressure. Basically, you stay, and then bubble.
mm,
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking do you want to keep looking at this maybe, or you want to do a game as well and try to apply some of this stuff? Yeah, maybe if you have
Oh,
some questions about how to deal with fire, we can go with that. But I think mainly it's just probably starting with tweaking your bubble management
bubble timers.
should
Yeah.
should be helpful. Do you want to do that first?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, let's do that then. And
Good.
I'm just gonna stop my stream. You can screen share.
Let me. Oh. I don't have the nitro anymore, unfortunately.
That's okay. That's alright. I think the
Do we
server
go?
lost Nitro recently as well. That's okay.
Do we go comp?
Yeah, if you can, I think that's
Yeah.
the best. Yeah, if you feel like you're warmed up to. I'm thinking, let's just try to track the triggers. Maybe starting with cooldowns. I just want you try to take those proactive positions, and when you receive the pressure, maybe your teammates, you just bubble cooldowns a little bit more. Obviously, there might be other triggers, but let's just pay attention to cooldowns.
Yeah.
I think can be a big thing. You can try to potentially even look at their comp and just predict, try to anticipate what are the big cooldowns you will try to block. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, you can also do this. Yeah, just
Yeah, I always do this. So
yeah,
this guy is a Rhyme player.
yeah. Against the
If it,
Rhines, be careful taking face-to-face fights. Yeah.
yeah.
I need we will crush them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Turn down the volume in the game a
Another
bit.
day, another mission. Man, I'm so excited.
So I don't usually do comms.
That's okay.
Because they distract my own gameplay.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I was in Diamond, I did a bit more comms, but not that much. I still discovered that we could still win games even without those.
Of course. Yeah, your performance is most important. Comms,
Yeah.
it matters a lot, especially. Yeah, you just.
So here I'm always thinking, should I take the high ground or should I just go?
Usually
these
left side
stairs?
is slightly better. It's just your active angles as well. Like up the stairs,
Yeah.
left is usually fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Using turret mode. This is good enough trigger for you. Also hacks.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, they have a lot of poke there. They have a lot of poke. So trying to be yeah, I'm thinking what we can track. Maybe turret mode. You can also block rock, hack a little bit more. Try to pay attention to where your teammates wants to fight. You have a pretty short range team, so
Yeah. And the Kiriko jump.
Mm-hmm. And maybe still look for just some early pressure, but yeah, you guys start taking space. Okay. Just try to do the same, but wait slightly longer for them to start using the stuff. Yeah, just push forward. It's okay to take damage, but receive the. Yes, that was good. That was a good bubble there. Just against the rock, yeah. Yeah. That's looking fine. As I mentioned, yeah, you just maybe Somber Hack Virus, a rock, and turret. You can rock that more. Once this happens, you start bubble. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Fuck. Oh damn, man.
That's okay. Ooh, insane. This guy went in so aggressive too.
Yeah, I meant we have to do something
Yeah.
about this.
Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you can.
I think the Sombra is gonna be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be here somewhere.
Yeah, anticipation is always great. If you know where the cooldown is gonna be, it just makes it easier for you to bubble.
Yep. And there she is. Let's see this guy. See this guy now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Good bubble there. Okay. A little bit out in the open there, so careful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice bubble.
Your team has taken the lead. To no surprise, we have surpassed them.
You still can use this because it's a poke phase. Don't forget. Well, not anymore, but yeah. It's just kind of. It's okay. I think we can focus on the brawl phase more. Whenever they active, there's active pressure on the brawl phase. Yeah. Start using the bubbles. Hey, you already exchanged to yeah.
Fuck. I actually thought that our chunk would play the tire there, but now he played it now.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's alright. That's alright. You guys push pretty far.
Yep. Should I now enable our Reaper a bit more?
I'm thinking when you grab, rather when you do that, try to think how you're gonna apply your own damage first of
Home
all.
pressure.
Yeah, like the next time if possible. It's just you had decent charge there too. I'm thinking don't focus on your teammates too much. Alright, this is fine.
Yeah, I need to get out. Yeah, no.
Okay, you guys can reset, yeah. Just watch the triggers like Mauga. I think against Mauga, the big one, it's either overdrive or maybe they use shift. They go on you. Well, still turret mode there for you to track. Stuff like that, really, mostly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're catching up. We gotta stop them.
Okay, we have a Widow now.
Oh, that was close.
That was unfortunate. I can't go there, can I? No.
That's okay. You can reset.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Thought they could keep me down.
No one can hide from my sight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I
fine.
couldn't help.
You had
Yeah,
time
I
for the
couldn't.
poke phase a little. Now you can take in the brawl phase. Try to make sure you move up a little so you have the shorter range corner. Yeah, bubble is good. You can kill this guy too. Oh, okay,
No,
close,
can't.
close.
Yep. I think we lost. No.
Try to focus the squishy. Yeah, that's okay. There's a big nade actually. Nice.
Yeah. It
Okay.
was huge.
Oh well.
Unfortunately, they didn't.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, there's still some polishing. Well, we mainly focus on been focusing on the brawl phase, as I mentioned. It's okay. I'm thinking maybe try to find the times when you're able to do your first bubble before the fight starts, even like just for the poke purposes. Sometimes, you know, what I notice is when you push the cart, like let's say you push the push that point. Yeah? You don't have to do that. I think try to take different spot somewhere. Try to take space a little bit more rather than staying at the same spot where the bot is. Because as Zarya, you don't have as much mobility, so you can try to make the enemies turn. Remember, I think after this middle point where the bot was initially, you push on the street. Remember, you can maybe take the top right or something like where the enemies
Like
been.
the high ground.
Yeah,
High ground on the left or on the right side.
exactly. One of those spots, and it's just you're able to apply pressure on those areas still, and you turn the enemy's attention to. It's just slightly more taking space and yeah, don't be afraid to do so, especially in the poke phase. I'm thinking one bubble to also maybe you can do one game, by the way, one more. Yeah, we have time.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, just doing that, and maybe some poke goes into you, maybe one of your active angles. Okay, one bubble, that's fine, and then later we can pay attention to cooldowns a little bit more as well. But yeah, it just kind of like feels in the poke phase you wanna take a little bit more space and then yeah have time to then either fall back to one of your positions or just hold the position. Yeah, here this map is pretty long range too, so there might be some difficulties with exactly like how
Yeah.
do you take space, but still doable. Well, you
I
can.
mean, to be honest, in the what was the previous map? The is it Esperanza.
As Esperanza, yeah.
Yeah, I usually play Sigma because
Yeah,
there's so
that's
long
okay.
sightlines, and it's really difficult for me to. But yeah, I understand your point that I can still play Zarya on that map. I just have to take more angles aside like the main, the
Yeah,
main angle,
yeah,
where
yeah,
the
yeah,
bot actually is,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
where the bot route is.
Exactly, and it's gonna be also similar. I'm thinking try to fight for those high grounds a little bit more. Like in here, you can rotate, try to just go up on the bridges, try to stay there, and see what you do with this is, well, you're probably gonna receive some pressure with CDs from the enemy team. So
Hopefully,
yeah,
I mean,
well, well, yeah, most likely yes, and if you do, then you can bubble. If you don't, then you just kill them even with zero charge. Yeah, one bubble for poke is fine, and then typically, yeah, and then you take those positions a bit more. Yeah, there's a nice poke. Oh, she's solo. Nice.
yeah.
Usually people make this rotation where they go all the way right side and just go on this
Yeah.
opposite. Yeah, 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 like with Zarya at least. Yeah, it's okay. So see, if you see pressure, you just hide around the corner, and then you can jump from barrels there. Yeah, almost.
Fuck.
Okay, almost. That's fine. Yeah, you still can make it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. From here, it's one of the best rotation for you to do. You just go on their back line. Yeah, yeah. You can also shoot the Rhine from here too. That's okay. You still
Yes,
have bubble. Yeah. Okay. Try to find the. You need to try to close the gap a little bit more once you have the bubble with something. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can jump on this and then yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I
close.
tried to jump on the. Because I don't want to have the
Yeah, yeah.
brawl with Ryan.
You can try. Yeah, you can try to do the same. Just receive pressure with CDs first and use cooldowns later. I mean your bubble. Yeah. More primary fire as well. So you not. Yeah, I mean if you're getting closer and then primary fire with something. You don't want to right click most of your time.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Just for the sake of higher pressure, you know. You eventually want to get close with something and primary fire those guys. Yeah, like this Ryan,
Just gonna
killable.
shatter.
Okay, nice. Good kill.
Just
Mm-hmm. See how you can... Yeah, I think these guys are pretty close, so... There's no problem
yeah.
in closing the gap now. Primary fire most of the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just high damage output. Yeah. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. Fine. We went a little bit forward, but you know, it's kind of, you know, when I say primary fire, it's just, you know, see who's in front. Okay, I'm like trying to push them back. Obviously get in position to buy those side angles. But from here, yeah, I'm thinking it's still fine for you to take the top if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I do this?
Yeah, I think it's possible. Like,
Okay.
you still can
there's
go up this.
something in the-
I'll probably just focus on killing this Ryan now, but yeah.
Yeah. I should have went in.
Well.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, well, sure. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we could have prevented it with the bubble, but it's you know.
Yeah.
Okay, this happens. I think it did anticipate the shadow too. It's just some of it is when they're close, it's harder to react. It's okay. It's definitely winnable there. Well, you just gotta try to take a little bit more space there. Yeah, we gotta push the Ana. Looks fine, looks fine. This is doing a lot. Nice.
Yep.
Okay, same stuff. You need to push top, but try to close the gap and basically hold your bubbles. Just, you know, don't feel the pressure to use those before. Just take the
Should I go
tops.
actually there?
Yeah, go there. Literally, yeah. Take those positions, and then once they use CDs, also let your HP drop a little. Yeah, you can allow your HP drop, your shield HP, and then use the bubble to just don't do anything. Literally 0 charge. Okay, don't need anything yet. Yeah, okay, this is good. Yeah.
Do I go away or?
Yeah, once you don't have anything, you can give up some space, but once you do, then you push forward. Careful of the Rhine pin in here.
Oh, Jesus.
That's okay. Yeah, usually you can kite, so basically you give up space. Usually try to kite through the open space there. Like I think if you up on this high ground, you usually can drop on the point from there. You.
I don't want to play the point.
Yeah, well, you can take that top again, like the one you did, but just be careful with how you rotate back. You usually want to take an angle on the Rhine shield, so you don't pressure this. Taking top is doable. Just go, you know, like all the way right. I say the Rhine can fight you and your team at the same time. So, oh, this gas is alone actually. Killable.
Yeah, he
Okay,
was.
close.
Not anymore.
That's okay.
I don't have a bubble for the. Yeah.
That's okay. Just make sure you die fast there and you know. That's okay. Nice. Almost got a kill on the Ana too. That's what you want. You just found the ult charge here in those cases. You almost have another graph.
Yeah. We have like a.
Yep. Definitely don't be let's say I still keep pushing up those power positions, those high grounds. If the enemies go towards you, it's okay. You have the bubbles. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody got slapped there.
What's happening there? With this aimbot
Try to find to close the gap. Oh, this guy might kill you. That's alright. So see, it's just basically it's winnable now. Try.
No.
Oh, okay. There's a
No,
shadow.
it's not. Yep.
Actually, it's still winnable. You just gotta dodge the point.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's fine. You can touch the point. Fight there. Yeah, just keep damaging. Yeah, trying to live. Sure.
I might have bubbled the Reaper.
That's okay. Honestly, one of the hardest maps for you to play, Zarya on, so don't worry. There's, we gonna, right after this, I was gonna mention a few things you can keep an eye on, but for now, I think just maintain the focus, the same idea. High gun control is important, but yeah, keep an eye on the triggers still, meanwhile, with your bubbles, that's what matters the most. It's definitely, there are a lot of, especially those kind of maps, there's a lot about your positioning, rotations. It's doable, but harder. Understandable. It's just not something we focused on as well. We didn't focus on your position too much. So yeah, just focus on the bubble still. I think doing when there is a higher pressure on you, I think you definitely recognizing like the CDs more. So just keep an eye on those still. I think they might still run the snipers, so keep an eye if there's somewhere.
They will definitely run the sniper. But the player is called aimbot.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. The player
I don't-
definitely most likely they do.
and I mean there was no real pressure on her. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Just
and I mean in these ranks nobody plays hardcover. That's what I if there is widow or not, no, very few players actually play hardcovers.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I think well, I think
That's
definitely
that's at least what I've kind of discovered. But
that's okay. Gotta find a way to like maybe yeah. This is fine bubble earlier, but you can still also right click him. It's fine poking those guys
I
a little.
can't. Like yeah, it's too.
That's okay.
I think that was too early. I guess.
This is good enough. Yes, some HP drop the out of position. Okay. Okay, decent. You can let the HP drop a little if you want. 50%
Even-
is like
Even further.
50, 60. Yeah. You can also do the same about your own HP. So thinking, if I hold this aggressive corner, yeah, if attention goes towards me, it's like okay. I want you. Yeah, I think you'll definitely play this corner where you maze a little bit more. Try to
Yep.
get on that back line. Yeah, fine. Okay. Oh, this may. I mean, yeah, this Ana is so low there. I mean,
Yeah.
they just.
I don't know why they are tilting that. Yeah.
That's okay. Keep an eye on the follow up. You can reset a little, and yeah. I can just rotate around. To be honest, you might get a kill or two if they chase you. Your team is gonna. Yeah, I think your May will come back with the touch, so you can touch with them. You can touch the point.
Hopefully.
It's the time. It's the time you need to find the go
I
in.
need to move
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Go to talk.
Yeah. That's alright.
Ryan still got me.
Okay. See who's active in the enemy. I think the Hans is on the right. Here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
Fine. Squish you first if you can. Mm-hmm. If possible. Yeah. Good target priority.
This is basically what I mean. I just don't understand why our
you-
DPS are not going after the Ana. She has died only 3 times, and I think she plays terrible positions at times at least. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, it's
I
it's
can't-
kind of yeah, there's a part where it, like the mental factor, the Rhine is there. It's easier to shoot.
Yeah.
Definitely, if they're in your face, I would just boop them away with the right click though, just for a second, have a second, and then go for Ana still. Just keep an eye on the next time. If they get in your face, just use the right click to boop them away from you. By the way, this top left is actually even better. I think like closer one. Because you brawl,
one?
yeah, closer
Oh,
one, the
oh, that
left
one.
stairs, yeah, you take a lot of poke there, so care. But yeah, later, it's just this position where you are now. It's I think usually better is Sig, usually. Okay, this one is better, yeah. Because you brawl tank, you want to primary fire most of the time. Just from here, if we start here, then you also absorb this initial attention more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, but yeah, it's alright.
I mean, usually in these kind of games, I would have just played Ryan because I mean I don't know how to win a game like this with Zarya. But it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, it's okay. I'm just based on what we mentioned before, I want to pay attention to, so one thing is, Forcing, so mentioned, yeah, forcing CDs, yeah, paying attention to cooldowns. How do we force their CDs? Okay, force. This is one. Another thing is we can keep an eye on, so it's your position. Okay, I'm thinking, yeah, position. We mentioned about enabling your active angles. That's where, yeah, position. Okay, let's look into that a little bit more. I just want to show you a few examples real quick, but you can keep an eye on more. Can you send me this game?
The previous one.
Oh yeah, yeah, the previous one.
Yeah. Let me see. History, replace, and yeah. Sure. There we go. Yep. You should
Okay.
have it.
Yeah, I'm screen sharing. Can you see it?
Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of players have problems with this, and that's understandable. This map is not as a lot of times suitable for the brawl characters, but the points are the same. Whenever you're trying to enable the active angles, find a way fundamentally, even though you're on a long range map, try to close the gap basically. And when you close in the gap, if you do it in the right area, then attention goes, well, if the attention goes towards you, then you respond with your bubbles, or then some of the attention can go towards your teammates. You can also respond with your bubbles like you did before. Just be more confident, I would say. Yeah, like when you take in those positions, just go there. You know, it's a lot about anticipation. I'm thinking where my team wants to fight. Well, they sort of want to fight for this. Usually this turn. Okay, so I'm looking to control that through getting closer on some of the angles, which I can primary fire basically. And this is something you cannot primary fire just because of the map. Yeah, you Zarya cannot go there. So usually go here as a brawl tank. You kind of just make that rotation, shoot those guys. But just go in and we're gonna talk about that later as well, the rotations and angle control. But ultimately, just focus on short range pressure. And when you actually do that short range pressure, so like basically here, beam, okay, and still do that, continue doing that. And if they use cooldowns on you, then you bubble, not before, because sometimes you kind of use the bubble a little bit too early. So like here, yeah, just keep doing stuff. They also don't have a sleep, I believe. They just, I think they used that. Oh wait, no, I was mistaken. Yeah, they still have it, but then reacting to ideally when they go in for something, then I'm like trying to use the bubble. But yeah, it requires some of the skill too. You know, when you're playing against sleep darts, CCs, obviously, but the idea is the same. I'm just applying pressure, pressure. Okay, they do something like right there. Maybe they nade me. Okay, I still maintain the same position while beaming them longer. So your attention, like a lot of attention, will not go towards this as well. It's okay to pressure the backline. It's kind of similar to on the second point. Again, hard point, and yeah, a lot of people that would play something like Sig. Also, this map, yeah, it's easier. So this is what he did. This is great. When you go after this position, just keeping an eye on where my active angles can do stuff as well. So it's just in a way, let's say here. Okay, see your Ana is over here while your Kiriko is there. Some of the people are over here. So how can you hold this high ground while enabling your active angles a little bit more? So in a way, so you have the position where these angles can go in for their own pressure. What's your thoughts? Where should you be? So if we're this far, can the Symmetra and Reaper do much? Like if we maintain this position, let's say.
Yeah, if we maintain that, then they really cannot do much. I should play maybe the bridge or or this. Yeah, that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's sort of okay. I think I did mention, well, you can take advantage of the poke phase more, which you did. So this is great. Okay. When you try to push up and take space, just keep an eye on when the brawl phase starts. I want my active angles to be with me, to be active, so I don't go in a space like maybe this one here, or I just maybe can even, well, so this position B can lean towards C and maintain this for a little bit longer. I think this is going to be a really big thing. You're just going to be It requires you tracking. I'm thinking requires tracking one of your teammates at the start. Later you can start tracking more, but pay attention. Yeah, pay attention to active angles. So you rotate and kind of, well, maybe I can still play there. Okay, I still shoot. Well, my symmetric goes. Okay, I still can maintain this position as long as possible. Maybe my Reaper goes. Maybe my Ash can shoot, and then later I will not make this decision to rotate. Yeah, because my active angles they're just not able to do much. That's how we make the decisions. But overall, you had the right direction. It's just the polishing. All of this is how you control those active angles. It's kind of similar story when we on defense. I just want to help my active angles control stuff. It's fine. Get to the short range. Yeah. So let me just write it down. See. Use close range more. Okay. So maybe when my Mei is holding this corner, okay, the Ryan is going in, but then you might even be more creative. Sometimes you can even find a way to just control this high ground later, rotate. Well, just it depends on situation. Like versus snipers, you probably don't not gonna be in the open that much, but maybe you can also make this type of rotation sometimes as well. Here, I think overall it's like been okay-ish. You sort of have this angle while your Mei is here. I just make sure you maybe if you're this position, yeah, you choose to play over here, then maybe playing on this top high ground still slightly better. But yeah, it's just finding a way, even on defense. How do I close the gap in a comfortable way for me? I think there are a lot of micros as well, like against the Ryan, when he was in your face, for instance, was around here. Yeah, just maybe boop them away slightly because you want to maintain your effective range, basically. If you realize I'm not within my effective range for whatever reason, that's a good target priority, but it's just keeping the distance from this while shooting this. So I'll boop this guy away, maybe go there and then shoot, but yeah.
So the booping, do you mean that I fire to the area between me and Ryan?
Yeah, usually the way it works, and you jump. By the way, what it does as well, because they swing, it gives you momentum. The swing boops you a little, and when you're in a jump
okay.
animation, it can boop you really far away. That's
Really?
yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the way. That's why whenever you have this 1v1 Ryan matchup as well, like it's good to jump a lot. If you want to kite, you can just be booped away from his hammer more. I think there's been a change to the boop ability to the tanks as well, so you getting booped further away now. I believe you should be. It should be with the new changes as well. Before it was not maybe as far, but still it's. Important micro, so keep an eye on that. Any characters who doing physical damage, Doomfist punch, by the way, you jump Doomfist punch, okay, you're just gonna be booped away further. Physical damage that boops you, so care and use that to your advantage too. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking for today, to be honest, we mentioned a lot, and we're gonna talk about some other stuff the next week too. But yeah, for today, if we would summarize, what are the main points we talked about today so far? What you got out of today?
Well, I think number one is maybe the bubble timing, the triggers, to keep an eye on that. That I have at least 2 triggers before I pop bubble, unless we are on the poke phase where it's kind of okay to enable some angle that we're pressuring, and then positioning wise, trying to close the gap to the enemy backline, or maybe, well, regardless what the targets are, but trying to close the gap creatively so I can actually be effective.
Yeah, on those maps, definitely. You still have to. Yeah, as a brawl tank, I cannot poke from far as most of my... Yeah, you cannot do that. If you play brawl tank, well, maybe not the most suitable situation sometimes. Your team com actually allows you to play a brawl tank here, but we're gonna talk about that more too, just adapting characters. But anyway, it's just nature of your tank. Yeah, for example, there, I know the fight is taking place here, so I just go there. I'm brawl tank. Well, my team, they can shoot from here. Maybe they stay to choose with me. It's okay for you to take to start initial pressure. You absorb pressure. Of course, keeping an eye on again where I absorb pressure. So you helping your active angles. Anticipate where where your active angles wants to fight. This this is a big
then-
one. Mm-hmm.
And then use the primary fire more than the secondary fire.
Yeah, it's kind of main. Of course, there's some micro in the secondary, but yeah, mostly it's higher damage output. You wanna keep an eye on that. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, based on triggers. So we're gonna keep those 3 triggers for now. It's position of your teammates, their HP, cooldowns being used, use bubbles based on that. And also don't forget about the poke phase, maybe 1 bubble, usually enable who can damage, anyone who can do more active with that, and pay attention to distance, who is dead and alive. That's helpful. So understand. So you will have bubbles for the actual brawl phase later too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I understand.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking for the next time, let me see.